Yeah, the first song we're going to do, a couple of, I guess a month or two into open mic, it was a little core group of people at first, and not a lot of others, but one night this unusual person showed up, and he hauled in this weird drum set that was made up of putting drums in places that they weren't supposed to be. Like he used the floor tom as a bass drum, and he was just a weird little kid. And he said, "I'm going to play drums and play harmonica and sing." And he did, and it was like we didn't really know what to expect. But number one, the guy, he was a good musician. He was just an unusual and eccentric musician, and he also wrote poetry. And his name was Roland Forbes, and I'm sure John remembers him, and some of the other people that have been around for a long time will remember him as well. And the thing about him is that he was just a very charming, nice person.
Eccentric, but
Eccentric, but just nice, and you never knew what he was going to pull out of his hat. And he quickly became like a real staple of open mic. He would play harmonica when other people were playing and singing and stuff. And then I ended up, I had always been a bass player, and I switched over to guitar about that time, and I was playing some gigs. And so I had Roland play drums with me, and another person, Tim Clough, who's not here, but he was also kind of a regular here, as a guy who started playing stand-up bass at 55 or 56 years old. And he's now playing gigs professionally as well. It's another one of those crazy stories. But anyhow, so Roland kind of swept into our lives real quickly, and then I played a gig with him and Tim at Holly's, which is now called 84 Court, but it was Holly's back then. And we played a Saturday night gig, and on that night, Roland was like so happy. He was like, "Oh, I've always wanted to play," and he liked the music that I was playing, and he liked the casual feel of it. He was like the happiest guy in the world. But then he died the next day. It was really weird, and it was unexpected.
He had a heart attack.
Yeah, he just had a heart attack, and it hit me a lot because of the joy that he had felt the night before, and I felt like it was kind of, I don't know, it's one of those weird, spooky things, like I had a task, God had a job for me to do that night, and I didn't even realize it. And so anyhow, at his funeral, can you turn my volume? At his funeral, his daughter was there, and she had this poem that he had written. And it was really, I thought it was very interesting. And so I asked her if it would be okay if I wrote a song around the poem. So this song is, the lyrics are by Roland, and I put the simple rudimentary music behind it. And it's just so that kind of Roland can be here with us, because he was a really big part of this early on.
It's for you, Roland.
Along the lonely paths I have come, by night I travel through the mist. Ever I follow a flowing stream, past a rocky ledge, along mountain cliffs, to where I can be free, to where I can be free. Days slowly pass in tranquility, like an eagle floating in the wind. I've come for quiet, my soul needs rest, far from the earthly clatter and dim. Now I can be free. Now I can be free. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Guide me safely through the night. Awaken me with clear blue sight. And now I can be free. And now I can be free. Now I can be free. And now I can